Aloha everyone, this video is going to talk about the CPIW and how it's going to affect the cost of living adjustment for Social Security and many other government benefits that use the CPIW as their peg for cost of living adjustments. Now today, October 13th, is when the inflationary report for September was released by the Federal Reserve. And if you can see here, the CPI index for all urban customers, that's when you hear about in the news, that one increased 8.2% over the last 12 months. So the year over year is 8.2%. For the month, the index increased by 0.2%. Now the CPIW, which is the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, increased 8.5% over the last 12 months and increased the index level to 291.854. It's a 0.1% month over month increase. Now, what does that look like, and how is that going to affect the benefits that you folks receive on your Social Security? Well, let's go to my wonderful spreadsheet here. So, as this list has been updating, initially with the July update, we had a projected 8.9%, provided that CPI remained the same, the CPIW index that is. And then it went a little bit lower because the CPIW in the month of August went down. The year over year number went down. So that means the acceleration of inflation kind of fell off a little bit. And then this month, it went back up a little bit. So with the entire numbers from July, August, and September, we come down to 8.75, which is a pretty great increase. Although, a lot of the numbers within the CPI, like the cost of utilities, the cost of energy, the cost of food, all of those things have gone up more than 8.75%. But at least this will help, and it does kind of show us that the federal government is using relatively good numbers, I guess, because it is the CPIW is higher than the CPIU, which is good news for people who are getting cost of living adjustments based on the CPIW versus the CPIU. Now there is a note here, and I just glimpsed it, of the CPIW being changed, or at least the CPI index. So this is starting January 2023. The BLS plans to update weights annually for the Consumer Price Index based on a single calendar year of data using the consumer expenditure data from 2021. This reflects a change from prior practice of updating weights biannually using 2 years of expenditure data. So this could be along the lines of, I don't want to say data manipulation, but data kind of curating so that the numbers potentially will look better in the favor of the BLS. That's the Bureau of Labor, right, Institute. So that's where it's kind of, or let's think of a positive note, right? This could mean that they are shortening their time, waiting in order to catch a more aggressive look at what the change looks like, right? So the weightings, that means like, okay, if 8% of the CPIU is based on food, 9% is based on utility costs. They have the weightings down here. I'm not really sure if they have it in this report. They do. So as you can see here, food has a relative importance of here 13.65 or 635%. That's the weight that it's given in regards to the CPIU. And as you can see, that has been very, very aggressively increasing over the past year, as it's gone up 11.2%. Most of the food items here are over double digits. The only thing that's not double digits is meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. So for those of you who are kind of done with the video, that was it. Your increase for Social Security is going to be 8.75. That's pretty, in my eyes, that's a good thing, because it could have been less. Now it could have been more, but at least we outpaced, or the CPIW is coming in higher than the CPIU, which is the one that's plastered all over the news. So at least we are a little bit more than that. As far as what costs increased the most year over year, it's going to be things like food, energy, and that's kind of the bulk of it, right? The food increase was 11.2% year over year, and the energy increase is 19.8. So that's kind of what pulled the 8.2 number higher. Everything else, well, not everything, but a lot of other items are going to be pushing it downward, because food and energy are probably the highest individually weighted items on the CPI. So that kind of sums it up. If you have any questions, again, I'm not an economist. I just help people with retirement. So if you have any questions on retirement topics, Medicare, Social Security, things of that nature, be sure to leave me a comment. How do you feel about this? Do you think that this is enough? Do you think that the government should pass those 3 bills that are waiting in the Social Security or in the congressional wings on how to increase Social Security benefits in the future, because they were so poorly adjusted for inflation and cost of living in the past? There are 3 bills in the, I don't know if it's the Senate or somewhere in Congress, that are being, at least that are brought up. None of it was voted on. None of it was even being talked about right now, but there is 3 bills that are supposed to help at least alleviate, number one, the strain on seniors right now, and number two, the fact that Social Security is running out of money. So how do you all feel about Social Security increase, the potential bankruptcy of Social Security, and the relative, I guess, input that you have on this mandatory benefit that we all are paying for, but it obviously is not being properly managed? See you guys in the next video. Again, do great things. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye now.